students, welcome back to Wisdom Academy YouTube channel. In the previous video, you have learned about heating effect of electric current. Now, we are going to learn Kirchhoff's law. So, Kirchhoff's law is used for the complex circuits. So, the circuits where you have a lot of elements, like you have more than two batteries, you have a lot of resistances, and it's very difficult to solve those circuits by our methods what we have learned before. We go for Kirchhoff's law. So Kirchhoff's law, it is of two types. One thing is called as KCL and one thing is KVL. This means Kirchhoff's current law, and KVL is Kirchhoff's voltage law. So Kirchhoff's current law and Kirchhoff's voltage law are the Kirchhoff laws which are used to solve the complex circuits. Current law is also known as junction law. Kirchhoff's current law is also called as junction law, and Kirchhoff's voltage law is also known as loop law. We'll learn one by one what is this. So let us talk about the current law first. That is Kirchhoff's current law. So Kirchhoff's current law. As I said you, it is also known as junction law. So first I will tell the statement to you, then we will solve few questions based upon it. So the statement says that algebraic sum, you can write along with me, algebraic sum of all the current of all the currents meeting at any junction is equal to 0. That means at a junction, whatever current is coming, the algebraic sum of that will always be equal to 0. Before applying this rule, you must know the sign conventions of it. Sign convention says that all the incoming currents at the junction, incoming current is taken as positive, and all the outgoing current is taken as negative. All the outgoing current is taken as negative. Now this is not like you have to strictly follow this. Some people, if they want to follow opposite of this, they can also follow that. So if all incoming currents are assumed to be negative, then all the outgoing current will be assumed to be positive, vice versa. So suppose in this point I1, I2, I3 are incoming current and I4 is the outgoing current, then I can write by the convention, if I'm taking incoming as positive, I1 plus I2 plus I3 minus I4 is equal to 0, isn't it? And if you solve further, I will get I1 plus I2 plus I3 is equal to I4. Now what it means? It means that sum of all incoming currents, sum of incoming current becomes equal to sum of outgoing current. Sum of outgoing current. So remember that Kirchhoff's current law says that algebraic sum of all the currents meeting at any junction is equal to 0. So if you have any circuit and in that circuit you have a junction, suppose I have a circuit like this. Some complex circuit, and suppose I'm taking this junction into consideration. For example, if I assume that current going here is I2 and coming here is I1 and coming here is I3. So here I will write I1 plus I3 is equal to I2, because incoming current is I1 and I3 at this junction. I2 is the outgoing current. So we can write sum of incoming current is equal to sum of outgoing current. Or we can even write like this: I1 plus I3 minus I2 is equal to 0. That will give the same result. This is about Kirchhoff's current law, also called as junction law. Now we will see what is Kirchhoff's voltage law. What is Kirchhoff's voltage law? That is also called as loop law. So junction law was used on the junction. Same way, voltage law will be used for loops. That's why it is called as loop law. So first write the statement of voltage law. It says that the algebraic sum of all the potentials of all the potentials across any loop, across any loop is equal to 0. So summation of all the potentials is always equal to 0. That is what Kirchhoff's voltage law says. In one more way we can write this. We can write that sum of all EMFs is equal to sum of all current into voltage, current into resistance. So we know that I into R will give voltage. So sum of all the EMFs in a loop will be equal to sum of all the current into resistances. So suppose I have a circuit. Okay, I'll tell the example. Before that, I will tell the convention of this. So convention is very important for it. See, whenever you're taking a loop, I'll take an example. I'll tell you. Let this be a loop, and let this be E1, let this be E2, let this be R1, let this be R2, and let this be R3. Let the current I start from here, I1, and let the current I2 starts from here. So I2 will come here, and here I1 is going, here I1 is inside, and in this point I2 will go in this direction. So here I1 is there, and here I2 is there. So obviously at this point I2 will come, and at this point I1 will come. This is the diagram what I have drawn. So now the convention says that suppose first of all you have to consider a loop. So direction of loop, direction of loop should be always be same for a circuit. What I am coming to say by this, direction of loop, or I should say that the sign of direction of loop, sign of direction of loop. That means suppose I am taking anti-clockwise to be positive, then in this whatever loops you take in this, suppose I can take how many? I can take 3 loops in this: A, B, C, D, E, and F. So I can take loop A, B, C, F, A. There can be a loop A, B, C, F, A. There can be another loop F, C, D, E, F, F, C, D, E, F. There can be another loop A, B, D, E, A, B, D, E, A. So in all these loops, what you should remember, whenever you are taking a loop and the loop is having a direction of anti-clockwise and you have taken anti-clockwise as positive, then all the anti-clockwise loop will always be positive. If you take a clockwise loop, it will become, sorry, this is a clockwise loop actually. So I have taken clockwise loop as positive. So all the anti-clockwise loop, whichever will be taken here, will be negative. So that direction of loop, when you're taking one thing as it is not like you should take only positive as clockwise. You can even take negative for clockwise, but then you should maintain the same for the entire question. For every loop you should not change the sign. That is the first rule, that what sign you have taken for one loop, that should maintain for the entire circuit, right? Second rule says that whenever you are moving, whenever we move along the direction of current, along the direction of current, the IR will be positive of that point, and vice versa. What is it meaning? It means that suppose I am moving, suppose there is a loop. Here I have taken the loop A, B, C, F, A. A, B, C, F, A. So loop direction is like this. So now if you see I2 current is coming like this. I2 direction is in this way. I2 is coming inside like this, and R3 is there, but we are moving in this direction. As per our loop direction A, B, C, F, A, we are moving like this. So the value of I2 into R3 will be negative. Why is it like that? Because I2 is in this direction. We are moving in this direction, but the current is coming in opposite direction. I2 is in this direction, but we are moving in this direction. So it will be negative. Same way, if suppose you are taking this I1 into R2, that is also negative. Reason is, see, that we are moving in the opposite direction of the current. Some example we will take for the positive also. For example, if I take F, C, D, E, F. Now when I consider this R2, then I1 into R2 will be positive because our direction of movement is same as the direction of current, so it will be positive. So then you will understand when the question I'm starting to solve, you will understand that what is positive, what is negative. So remember that if you're moving along the direction of current, then IR will be positive for that case, and if you're moving against the direction of current, it will be negative for that case. This is the second rule. Third rule is very important. I'm writing it here. Third rule, and I'm using some other pen for clarification, that if you are moving in along a cell, so suppose you are moving in this direction, okay, that means from negative to positive of a cell. In this case, I am moving from positive to negative of a cell. So negative to positive, whenever you are moving, it is to be taken as positive, and then from positive to negative will become negative. So for example, if I am moving in A, B, C, F, A, for this E2, I am moving from positive to negative. So it will be minus E2. For which loop? This is only for loop A, B, C, D, E, A. Sorry, A, B, C, F, A. I'm talking only about this loop ABCFA. Similarly, if you come here, I'm moving from positive. If in this loop I'm moving from positive to negative. So when you're moving from positive to negative, again you will take negative sign here. Remember this. So whenever you're moving from positive to negative, that will be negative. And when moving from negative to positive, it will be positive. For example, if I'm taking loop F, C, D, E, F, this loop. In this loop, the direction of E1 will be positive. Why it will be positive? Because I'm moving from negative to positive. This is the third rule. These three rules, if you have understood, then any complex question you can solve by using Kirchhoff's law. So that is voltage law. You can apply the voltage law now. The first thing was, whatever direction you are taking for a single loop, that direction has to be maintained for entire question, for the entire circuit. There can be more than 2 3 loops in a question. So if you are taking clockwise as positive, then all the loops should be taken clockwise as positive. Second rule says that if you are moving along the direction of current, then IR will be positive. If you are moving against the direction of current, IR will be negative. And third thing is, when we are moving from negative to positive terminal of the battery, then that EMF will be positive. When you are moving from positive to negative terminal of a battery, that EMF will be negative. So now we will solve some questions to understand it better. Let us see this question. In this, they have asked to find the current I1, I2 and I3. So I1 is starting from here, I2 starting from here, and they both will meet at this junction, and I3 will come from here. So they have asked in this question to find the values of I1, I2 and I3. So we can use Kirchhoff's law and we can find. So if I name the points, let me name it as A, B, C, D, E and F. Take junction E. So junction E, at junction E, what is the incoming current? I1 plus I2, that is equal to I3. So I got one equation. Now I will use loop law. This is by using Kirchhoff's current law. Now I will use loop law. I will taking loop A, B, E, F, A. So this loop I'm taking A, B, E, F, A, like this, and that anti-clockwise loop I'm taking as positive. So I have taken anti-clockwise as positive. Now let us write what are the EMFs coming. See here. So when you go here, I3 is coming 3I3, but it is in opposite direction. So minus 3I3. If you go here, again it is in opposite direction, minus 2I1, that is equal to, I am going from positive to negative, again minus, so minus 5. So I can distribute it and write like this. Minus, if I take common, it will become 2I1 plus 3I3 is equal to 5. One equation I have got. Second, I can take another loop. So taking loop, I can take this loop. See, if you want, you can take even the bigger loop. but I'm taking loop B, C, D, E, and here what I'm getting, if you going from negative to positive, that will be positive 5 is equal to, this is going along the direction of current, so it will be 4I2, and again going again direction, so plus 3I3. So I have got equation here, I have got equation here. See here I2 and I3 is there, here I1 and I3 is there. So I can put I2 as I3 minus I1 here. So 5 is equal to 4. Instead of I2 I am putting I3 minus I1 plus 3I3. So it will become 5 is equal to 4I3 minus 4I1 plus 3I3. So you get 5 is equal to 7I3 minus 4I1. So see, I have two equations, and in these two equations there are two unknown, I1, I3. Here also I1 and I3. So when you solve these two equations, you will get the value of I1 and I3. When once you got I1 and I3, you can put in this equation, you'll also get the value of I2. This is how you can solve any question by using Kirchhoff's law. So like this, there are a lot of questions. I will make a separate video solving some typical questions from Kirchhoff's current law and voltage law. So I hope you have understood this. So in today's class, we have learnt about Kirchhoff's law, that is the current law and the voltage law, and I told you what are the sign conventions for it. I hope you have understood it. Practice enough number of questions to get some confidence over it. Please like the video, subscribe the channel, and share with your friends.